Hello, I'm Jeff Brickler, and I'll be doing the demonstration today for the CADTALK integration between Solidworks PDM, and IFS Cloud. I'm a business solutions architect with CADTALK and for the last 8 years, and thank you for joining. So CADTALK has 5 main reasons why it is the best solution for integrating your CAD system, in this case SolidWorks and Solidworks PDM, with IFS Cloud. First, it's just completely off the shelf. We don't perform any custom development. Everything can be configured directly inside CADTALK. It is more than just a simple import tool. It is a market-leading intelligent integration and automation, really designed to automate as much of the workflow from the engineering to manufacturing handoff, not just integrating, but also automating much of that work. 3, it's flexible. CADTALK can work in lots of different ways. It can work as a standalone host for someone downstream, like a manufacturing engineer. It can work in a CAD host, meaning the design engineer or someone who does works in SolidWorks, or it can work as a fully automated service triggered in the background from the PDM workflows. CADTALK is also process focused, meaning that we look at the whole process from the engineering to manufacturing handoff all the way to the shop floor and think about how can we automate more of the process, taking in the whole need, rather than just focusing on getting the data from one place to another, really analyzing what that workflow looks like from CAD all the way to the ERP shop floor and then to the end customer. Last is our support. So CADTALK is built up of manufacturing engineers, industrial engineers, CAD administrators, CAD designers, ERP specialists. So we specialize in this industry. 100% of our business is done with integrations between CAD systems like SolidWorks and IFS Cloud. So just give some social proof from our customers, Culligan Water, who talk about how they are able to have more accurate and faster delivery to their customer requests using CADTALK to synchronize their bombs between their PLM and their IFS installation. So what you'll see today is I'm going to show SolidWorks, taking data from SolidWorks or Solidworks PDM, and then using the CADTALK middleware integration layer, translate that into the IFS inventory parts, structures, routings, documents, really talk about how do we translate that engineering data, that EBOM, into that manufacturing information in IFS Cloud. So again, CADTALK is a middleware. It is not a third system. I'm going to start off on the left with SolidWorks. So we're going to read SolidWorks and Solidworks PDM data, things like part numbers, descriptions, any custom properties, configuration properties that you have in SolidWorks, including the designs, be able to translate those into what IFS Cloud needs. On the IFS Cloud side of handling the manufacturing BOM, including creating the parts, the structures, adding raw materials, doing a purchase versus manufactured, handling the revisions, the manufacturing revisions, as well as uploading any documents. And then CADTALK sits between those. Again, it has a integration workbench that allows you to get 100% configurable, no custom development needed. It can automate not just the data transfer, but also the intelligent routing systems, determining whether something is purchased or manufactured, really uploading documents, really anything that you would need to do in terms of the bill of material transfer. CADTALK can handle that. Okay, so now let's have the demonstration. You should now be seeing in your screen a propeller shaft assembly. So this is a small assembly that only has 2 components. I'm going to show creating it into IFS Cloud first in order to show the power of CADTALK, how CADTALK can create parts and bills of material automatically from SolidWorks and Solidworks PDM. From there, I'll briefly talk about how CADTALK is configured to provide a completely off-the-shelf product without the need for customizations, and then I will show the Sea-Doo scooter just to show something a bit larger, to give you the idea that CADTALK can handle complex multiple complex bills of material that are fully indented, levels, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 levels deep, and then again, handling all of that automation in the transfer from engineering to manufacturing. I'm going to switch over to CADTALK now. You're now looking at the CADTALK interface. Obviously, you see in this screen a bill of material. This is what I'm going to end up showing you. As you can see, it's the propeller shaft. I'm going to load it out of SolidWorks now. So you'll notice that CADTALK has add-ins. So CADTALK has a middleware platform that has add-ins that do the work between SolidWorks and IFS Cloud. So you notice I have an IFS add-in here, and I'm already logged in. So CADTALK uses all API-based integrations in order to leverage all the technology provided by both the SolidWorks API as well as the IFS API. I'm going to go ahead and select Load SolidWorks. Now notice if I have PDM, I can search PDM. I can also just pick a file directly. All those options are available in CADTALK. I'm going to select that's propeller shaft assembly, and then select Open. Notice that CADTALK is already doing configurations. Select OK, and CADTALK begins to process all of the data out of SolidWorks, translating that into what IFS Cloud needs. That's going to be identifying whether parts are new or existing or changed, creating each of the inventory records, as well as going to different sites as required, determining whether it's a purchased or manufactured part. Really, every aspect of the bill of material or what's called the IFS structure can be handled by CADTALK. So what you're looking at now, this is the CADTALK workbench. It is an in-between place where you can review all of the data before sending it to IFS Cloud. So notice I have the main part here. I can go by sites. I have the description that I've brought over from the ERP. From the CAD system. I have all the data accessible in IFS. So anything that you might want to map over from a engineering BOM that you want to translate into a manufacturing BOM, CADTALK can handle that, including custom fields, all out of the box. So you'll notice I have the top level here, and then this part is manufactured, and then down below I have the two components. And then you see here the quantities are accessible right in here. These are purchase parts, as you can see. This is mimicking the same structure that you would get in IFS Cloud. In addition to this interface, I have a number of right-click menus to help automate, to speed up any other data entry. So let's say I want to add non-CAD parts onto my IFS bill of material. That's things like glue or lubricant or Loctite. I can simply come in here and then right-click and then add new structure or add structure from search. That allows me to search IFS Cloud for any of those non-geometry or non-CAD parts. So if I wanted to add glue or Loctite, I can do that directly in this interface by searching IFS Cloud and then adding them. Of course, if I wanted to add them in IFS or have someone downstream do that, I can do that as well. So again, CADTALK can be used by anyone in the organization who knows what the bill of material needs. As I mentioned, it can work outside of SolidWorks for someone downstream, like a manufacturing engineer who can read in the data from a designer, or it can be used by the designer himself to push the data into IFS Cloud. Again, lots of different workflows, very configurable for what customers need. You'll also see here that I'm supporting manufacturing header, manufacturing. So if I wanted to add routing operations, I can do that in here. So I can manually add those operations. Of course, if I wanted to automatically add operations, in an automation way, I can do that as well. I'll talk a little bit about how CADTALK is configured, what implementation looks like as far as automating a lot of the work. So from here, right, you can see I have a thumbnail. I can also attach any kind of documents that I might want. So for example, notice I could turn on the documents here. That'll allow me to attach any documents that I might want, PDFs, step files, any document that you would want to share with the downstream folks or with suppliers can be attached here as well. Now, what CADTALK allows you to review the bill of material before we save it in IFS Cloud. Now, of course, what you notice here is I have all these red icons and yellow highlighting. So CADTALK is color-coded with a traffic light color coding, red, yellow, green. Red indicates brand new parts. So that's to tell you to stop, pay attention, you're going to create new parts in IFS. The yellow highlighting alerts you to that data is going to be written to these fields. I'm highlighting every field that I'm writing to. And then, of course, anything that was being green would tell me that that's synchronized with IFS Cloud. So if I go to save here, then what will happen in the background is that you'll see all the red icons and yellow highlighting. What CADTALK will do is just that quickly go from red to green. The green icons indicate that this now is synchronized, and all the data that you see in CADTALK is available in IFS Cloud, including any defaults that I need to set in IFS Cloud. All would be there. So now, take this number here, that propeller shaft assembly. I'm going to just take this number. Then I'm going to switch over to IFS Cloud. So now you're looking at my IFS Cloud. So I can come in here and do a search on that part number, right? Paste it in here in order to get that number and show you what it looks like. Looks like I need to log back in. So let me go ahead and log back in here. Just going to select my password. So CADTALK, as you can see, uses all the same login information to IFS Cloud that the IFS Cloud interface does. So again, come back here and select my part number. Go to my product structure. I'm going to come in here. Now in the product structure of IFS Cloud, I'm just going to do a search on the part number, paste that in here. It finds that number. Click on it here, do the search, and now you see I have found that particular propeller shaft assembly. So what did CADTALK do? As you can see, it created the structure, right? It created all the items, all the parts, the parts. It put them in all the sites that we wanted, all the revisions, the phase-in dates. It also created the two subcomponents here, created those as parts, and then added those parts to the bill of material. If I had uploaded any documents, they would be contained in the attachments and document management in IFS Cloud. If I had attached a thumbnail of the image, that would be there as well. Again, anything that CADTALK is attaching or updating will be in IFS Cloud with the push of a button. Now, switching back to CADTALK, everything in CADTALK is configured. So because we don't do any custom development, the implementation of CADTALK is quite simple. You point to your IFS Cloud instance and log in. You point to your Solidworks and PDM and then log in and connect. All of the effort of implementing CADTALK is in here. This is developing the rules between your Solidworks data and your IFS data. This is where the business process reviews must happen so that the customer can define what data they want to be brought over and how to leverage that data to automate as much of the process as possible. What's nice is that this intelligence engine is a low-code, no-code environment that allows you to tailor CADTALK solution to fit your needs, to configure it without the need for any customizations. So now I'm going to go back to my e-drawings. I'm going to load this Sea-Doo scooter. So keep in mind that this propeller shaft assembly that I showed first is already in the IFS Cloud, and it is actually a part of this Sea-Doo scooter. And then I'm going to go ahead and load that here. So you can see, again, the purpose of showing this is to show a larger, fully indented bill of material. I'll select the Sea-Doo scooter final, select open. Again, CADTALK finds configurations, processes, and notice how quickly it processes. I'm going to turn on the logger here just to give you a view of all the messages it has. So notice how quickly it's just processing all the data out of SolidWorks, communicating in that bi-directional fashion with IFS Cloud to say, Do these parts exist? Are they new? It will color code them. As I mentioned, red parts will be brand new. Yellow highlighting indicates where data is going to be written. And then green icons indicate areas where the data has been synchronized with IFS Cloud and you don't have any differences. So as CADTALK finishes, it'll again show in the interface that workbench where you can review, edit, and modify the BOM as necessary before it goes into IFS Cloud to do things like to verify the data is correct, but also to, if you need to add any non-CAD parts, as I mentioned earlier, paint, glue, Loctite, that sort of thing. And when CADTALK finishes, again, it will have in this interface that view. And then I will talk a little bit about the number of icons you see, the red, yellow, and green icons, as well, because we'll have green icons because we created that propeller shaft earlier. Now, I often ask how long does it take to upload a bill of material to IFS. It always depends upon how large the bill of material is coming from Solidworks and in terms of the connection to IFS. So it's always much faster than any other process because we're reading the data directly out of Solidworks and then communicating directly through the APIs of IFS Cloud. So once it finishes, again, we're going to see in the interface that proposed bill of material. Just about finished now. There we go. Excellent. So now you can see in the CADTALK interface this large bill of material, right? Notice I have the image here, right? I have a bunch of red icons just to review. The red icons indicate that these parts are new. And if I scroll down here, you'll see, again, all the yellow highlighting. If I scroll down, you'll see there I have found that propeller shaft assembly, right? This part exists already, and CADTALK recognizes it exists, and notice how it is green because I haven't made any changes. Now, of course, if any changes were made in the Solidworks side, they would be updated here, and then that would change the icon yellow. So for this, I will change something here just to simulate how CADTALK will always tracks all the changes. So notice it changes the icon to yellow, and then on here and here it changes to yellow, and then you can see the original and the current. So CADTALK tracks all the changes that you have, giving you the information you need before you update IFS Cloud. And I'm going to send it back to the original, right? So notice when I send it back to the original, the icon changes back to green, and of course the property prescription doesn't change either. So again, notice how large this bill of material is, right? It's fully indented. CADTALK can handle all the levels of any bill of material, no matter how large or small. Now notice here that I cannot save. The save button is disabled. The save button is disabled because I have a validation alert. So notice here, right, that I have a validation alert that tells me there's an error with the master part. The description is missing. So this is an error. Typically what I see is if there's an error in the bill like this, there's missing data, then it needs to go back to engineering to update that through an engineering change. Now for the sake of this conversation, I can update here. Most customers would not do this. They would go through that engineering change and process it. But notice once I update that, I've cleared that validation alert, the save button becomes enabled, and then of course I can save to IFS Cloud. To keep this demo short, I'm going to bypass saving it here, but that sums up what you saw, that sums up how CADTALK works in the integration between IFS Cloud and Solidworks PDM. So getting back to kind of my PowerPoint and just reviewing what we saw today, we did see the Solidworks and Solidworks PDM integration with CADTALK, the CADTALK middleware integration workbench where you can review, edit, see validation alerts, and then clear those validation alerts, and then create the data in IFS Cloud, creating all of the information necessary, including inventory parts, structures, routings. CADTALK can even attach documents and then handle part attributes, as well as even suppliers and manufacturers really trying to automate as much of that process as possible. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, Jeff Brickler, at jeff.brickler@cadtalk.com. That's jeff.brickler, Brickler, @cadtalk.com. Thank you very much.